Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. My first guest is Sam Smith, who's going to be talking to me about what he's learnt from local records. And later I've got the sport. But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, new jobs at Humberside Airport thanks to a massive investment and more investment for the Humberside region sports facilities. 150 new jobs could come to Humberside Airport over 3 years thanks to investment in the area. On Friday, senior officials were there to mark the occasion. 70 people were presented with awards on the day. The National Academy being launched at the airport is part of a venture between BAE Systems, Humberside Airport, Resource Group's Aviation Technical Training Division and North Lincolnshire Council. The jobs will come as a result of 60 total apprenticeships. They'll be trained to high levels of knowledge with aircraft.
Well, we invest in young people. We're a large operation. We need to sustain a high engineering base and intellect in our company, and no better way than creating an indigenous source of supply for that. Groom them to become proficient in their role, but also groom them to become BAE Systems people.
This £5 million investment with BAE Systems is absolutely great, and training young technicians of the future on highly skilled jobs. And I think that's going to be really exciting. You know, they're going to be working on typhoons, tornadoes, hawks. You know, great, absolutely great.
East Riding of Yorkshire Council has congratulated a local group for helping them secure an award. The Fairtrade East Riding Network became officially supported by the East Riding of Yorkshire Council in 2011 and since then has moved to increase fair trade produce in the area. Now, the Fairtrade Foundation has awarded them with a Fair Trade County status, which is recognition for the growing support across the area for fair trade goods of all kinds. To celebrate the achievement, Fairtrade East Riding Network is hosting an evening event tonight at 7:30. It will take place at Tolgavel United Church in Beverley and anyone can attend. More microchipping for local dogs are available for people in the North Lincolnshire Council area. The scheme is being run in partnership with the Dogs Trust. This Thursday, people can take their dogs along to Church Square House in Scunthorpe between 11 and 3. Over the last 12 months, over 1,000 dogs have been microchipped due to the scheme, and North Lincolnshire Council are encouraging more people to take them up on the offer before microchips become compulsory in April 2016. It saves owners around £20 to £30 to have it done for free. Because of the popularity, there will be extra dates added in November and December. A senior infection control nurse has won a national award. Viv Duncanson from the Northern Lincolnshire and Goole NHS Foundation Trust won the Practitioner of the Year award for her work from the Infection Prevention Society at their annual awards in Glasgow. She's led on strategies to reduce infections across the 3 hospitals managed by the Trust in Grimsby, Scunthorpe and Goole. The judges were particularly pleased by the high standards and campaigns she has launched. In a statement to us, Viv said she felt extremely honoured to have been nominated by her colleagues. Over £75,000 worth of funding is coming to the Humberside region for sport. That's thanks to national lottery funding, which will improve facilities at local sports clubs and areas. Brumbury Gymnastics Club will end up receiving over £35,000 of grants to improve their club's facilities. Charles Johnston, the Property Director for Sport England, explained to us on the phone how the funding will make a difference.
For us, it's very important because it's particularly aimed at community sports clubs, really down at the grassroots ends of sport, and particularly also to organisations that might not have applied for lottery money in the past. And it's certainly been very successful. And with this round of announcements, we'll have exceeded £94 million of lottery investment. What they're going to see is better quality facilities, really. We think that often people are put off by the quality of changing rooms or the lack of provision or the lack of access, particularly if you're a disabled sports person. So we're really addressing those, and what we're seeing for a lot of clubs is a difference possibly between survival and closure. So it really is making a difference right at the community level, right across the country.
That's all from me for now, and we'll be back with more news soon. If you have any news for us, then don't hesitate to contact us on Grimsby 01472 3155553. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now, as I said, my guest today is Sam Smith, but it's not the record-breaking artist, I'm afraid. But even better, it's Sam Smith, the local author. Thank you for coming in today, Sam. So, I mean, you're going to be talking to me about your book that you've written, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
And what's it called?
It's the Armo Academy.
Yeah, and you got it just here, this one. And what's it about?
It's the life of an illustrated history of Armstrong Street Secondary Modern School that was built on the West Marsh.
And you know a little bit about this, don't you?
I do indeed, yeah.
Tell me why.
I went to school myself there for 3 years.
What years were they? Now I'm asking.
That'll be 52 to 55.
Okay.
Would be the period of time.
And what was it like?
It was good. It was a school that excelled in football and sports. It was known as a hard school in a way, but then again the teachers had people from deprived areas that was teaching boys of classes of about 50 or 60.
Wow.
So they had to be in ultimate control themselves, really. So discipline was quite severe there.
So you had some stern teachers, did you?
There was some, yeah, that's right. But you know, the teachers today have got a different legislation on themselves as what they had in them days. You know, so naturally, the stick was a certain reprimand for boys that got out of line.
Did you ever get the stick?
I did.
Did you learn your lesson?
I did. Yes, more than once.
So, I mean, it's interesting because you went there for 3 years, but you did leave, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Tell me how that came about.
At that particular time, you could retake the 11 plus for what they call late stages of boys, and I did that, and I passed to go to the Grimsby Technical College. So I spent the last 2 years at the Grimsby Technical College then.
But do you have fond memories from the Armo? Cause it was called the Armstrong Street School, but known by pupils as the Armo Academy. Is that right? That's
right. Yeah. Oh, there was some great characters of teachers there, and I've been involved in engineering all my life as a trade, and a lot of people that used to meet in the trade used to have recollections of their schooling, and they'd mention certain teachers that was there then, and you know, there's a lot of happy memories really, even though it was, you know, can be quite severe at times.
And I suppose this book will be interesting for people who lived there, who went there, because of course it's not there anymore, is it?
No, that's right. In fact, it's marking the 50th year of the demolition of the school. It was built in 1929 and lasted until 1964, so it was only 34 years in its structure before it was demolished.
What's there now?
It's the only thing that's left there now is that there is the like a playing field, and there is a community centre on the corner of it.
Oh, right.
But the only thing of the school left is just the railings and the concrete supports, pillar supports really.
So you've been putting this together for a while now. Tell me how you got into that.
It started, the concept of the book started in 2007 when I responded to an advert in the paper placed in the Evening Telegraph for volunteers to compile a book on the West Marsh. It was put in by Sandra Mason, who was the manageress of the Macaulay Street Community Centre. And from that she got about 25 volunteers, and we was all given different tasks to do, and I was given the task of looking at the schools in the area on the West Marsh, which was 5 schools then, and that was Littlecote School, Lord Street Mission, South Parade,
Macaulay Street National School and Armstrong Street School.
So obviously that project didn't really come together in the end for
No,
whatever
unfortunately
reason.
people fell by the wayside and fell out of the group. But by then I'd got my teeth into looking at the schools. The other 4 schools were quite easy to find information. They've been well documented. The logbooks and things have been placed back in the archives. But Armstrong, it seemed as though it was a bit of an embarrassment to the society because most of the things were destroyed or don't appear to be put into the archives, you know.
But you had a personal advantage with that research, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So obviously you've self-published it.
That's right, yeah.
What are you hoping to get out of it?
Just the enjoyment. I've already had my enjoyment in meeting a lot of incredible people over the 7 years, interviewing them and getting their memories and photographs and things. So I've enjoyed the trip immensely, really. But I hope that it shows the history of the school from its concept to its final demise, and it's documented in the book. Fortunately, there was the boys' logbook that was put into the archives, and that was filled in each day by the headmaster. Now, a lot of it was mundane items that he put in, like Mr. So-and-so was ill today and Mr. So-and come back, but there's a lot of other snippets that give like a timeline through the 34 years of the school, and that's what I've built the book around, really. So, you know, like, you know, it'll mention a boy got hit in the eye with a catapult, you know, while in the playground and stuff, snippets of that nature, you know.
And that's what's led to the structure of the book?
That's right, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I'm afraid we have actually run out of time. We're running out of time on the show, I'm afraid, Sam. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for
But before we do go, I've got the sport for you. Hull's Luke Campbell prolonged his impressive start to his professional career as he stopped Argentinian opponent Daniel Brizuela in 5 rounds at the Hull Ice Arena. It was a notable victory for Campbell in what was only the 9th fight of his professional career compared to Brizuela, who had won 26 from 33 bouts prior to Saturday. Fellow Hull boxer Tommy Coyle defeated Australian Michael Katsidis with a second round knockout on the same billing. In ice hockey, it was a mixed bag for Hull Stingrays in their 2 games. On Saturday, they lost 4-1 away to Sheffield Steelers, their 3rd defeat against them this season. However, it was better news on Sunday night as they beat the Fife Flyers 3-1. Finally, in football, Hull City left the Anfield natives restless after they held Liverpool to a 0-0 draw. Scunthorpe lost 1-0 at home to Notts County after a late penalty from substitute Zeli Ismail. Meanwhile, in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round, Grimsby Town beat Guiseley AFC 3-0 with second-half goals from sub Nathan Arnold and Linnell John Lewis netting twice to see the Mariners through. And finally, more football. The pace of the game is faster than ever before, which could make it difficult for some. That's why last week they held a walking football festival in Grimsby. The festival was combined with a local derby with a match between teams from Grimsby and Hull. It's a sport that's become increasingly popular in the local area in recent months, and Paul Goodhand outlined the popularity and how it can grow.
Our group train every Monday and every Thursday, so on a weekly basis we have our group from Grimsby, and our tournaments and the festivals we participate probably 3 or 4 times a year where we play other organisations. Basically, all that's different is it's walking. The rules and everything, the technique of the game and everything like that, the tactics, it all stays the same. But basically, the idea of walking is to give everybody an equal playing field, because we do have participants who are 60, and I think the oldest we have is 74. So it basically equals it out, because some can move quicker than others. So the idea of walking, it gives an even playing field.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today, but if you've got anything you want to share with us, get in touch via social media. Call us on Grimsby 31553, or you can email us on news@estuary.tv. Bye for now.